Hi, my name is Devon Reid, and I'm running for city clerk here in Evanston. And Meleika, let me tell you how I feel about what happened last night. Last night I was arrested and detained by Evanston police officers while I was petitioning downtown Evanston. An officer approached and she asked what I was doing. I was with a buddy petitioning, and I immediately informed her that I'm a candidate for city clerk and I'm petitioning to get on the ballot. The officer then began to ask for my name, and so I told her my name is Devon Reid. She asked for my middle initial, and that sparked a bit of concern. So I asked her, why are you asking for my name? I've showed you what I'm doing. At this point, I should be let go. And the officer decided that. Then she asked me for my birthday, and I knew at that point what she was trying to do was find something to criminalize what I was doing. I'm a young man petitioning to run for office here in the city of Evanston, and I'm being criminalized for that. And so I refused to give her my birthday because I've had tons of interactions like this with Evanston police officers. And so I have taken the time to study my rights and know exactly what my rights are when I'm stopped by police. And so I knew I was well within my rights. And so I explained that to her. I explained to her that once she saw what I was doing, reasonable suspicion was done, and I should have been free to go on my merry way and continue petitioning to get on the ballot for public office the day before the filing deadline. So then, because I refused to give my birth date, she called back up, and an officer arrived, and both of the officers, without any warning, she said, "Are you going to give me your birth date or are you going to go to jail?" I said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, I cannot give you my birth date." And they both grabbed my arms and put me in handcuffs and put me in the back of the squad car as if I were John Dillinger or some crazy criminal, for upholding my rights. So I was taken down to the police station. I asked for a sergeant, and I explained to the sergeant again exactly. I could quote legal cases about why this was wrong and why they should release me immediately. The sergeant's response was that why didn't I just comply with her orders? Why didn't I just listen to what the officer said? And I explained, because I have rights, and what's the point of having rights if you can't exercise them? And to have a sergeant of our police department hear what happened and not immediately say, well, young man, I am sorry for this. We should release you immediately. To have him stand behind the misconduct of one of his officers is appalling, and I think it shows a much more pervasive issue here in the Evanston Police Department. Imagine, if this happens to me, a young man who can clearly articulate why I should not be arrested at that moment. A young man in a suit. Imagine what's happening to the young men my age, 24, 23, and younger, the ones with the dreadheads that everyone thinks are thugs and no one cares about. Their rights are being violated at a much higher rate because, one, they don't know their rights, and two, when they're violated, they don't trust the system as it is to file misconduct reports or complaint reports. And so I think here in Evanston, the lesson from this is this is a really big issue. This is a bigger issue than what happened to me. This is something happening in our communities all the time. I have friends who deal with this all the time. And this is why we have a huge amount of distrust between the black and brown community and local law enforcement because of issues like this. City Manager Bob Kowicks contacted me this morning to apologize and let me know that the charges were going to be dropped and that the officers were going to be placed on, or he let me know that he was going to issue an apology and the officers would be placed on administrative leave. One, administrative leave is paid time off. You still get paid while you're on administrative leave, and to get paid and to continue to serve on the force after they violated someone's First Amendment rights, the most sacred of rights that we have as American citizens, is outrageous. And also, I told City Manager Bob Kowicks, I'm usually very polite and comport myself, but I told him I don't need his damn apology. What needs to happen is policy needs to change here. We can't just think that, because we're thrown some crumbs by these officers being placed on administrative leave, that this is okay and that we can move forward from this. This is a much larger issue. And we're tired of crumbs. We need the full cookie at this point. And we really need some real change here in Evanston, especially around policing and especially around transparency, so folks know what's going on in our police department, so folks can trust what's going on in our police department and know that our law enforcement, in fact, they're great officers here, but we need to remove the bad apples, because the saying isn't a few bad apples just remain in the barrel. The saying is a few bad apples spoil the entire bunch. And so we need to make sure that we are weeding out those bad apples and making sure that folks have trust in the police department here. And that's what I have to say about this.
Thank you so much, Mr. Reid. Thank you.
Thank you.